Hi, my name is Chris Ryan. Welcome to the Forest of Arden. Today we're talking all about the downswing. We're looking at the shape of the downswing and talking about how you can move the club shaft differently to give you some better results out on the golf course. So we are looking specifically at the downswing in this video, and really we're addressing an issue that may be present for the golfers who hit the left to right shots, the slice shots, and certainly there's going to be a lot of golfers out there who do fall into that category. So many of these golfers who hit that shot, especially if you're someone who does kind of watch YouTube and you do read magazines and you do some online research, you may well have a pretty good idea about what you do down at impact which creates that slice. You're possibly going to have a good idea that the club path is going to be across to the left. Relative to that, the club face is too open, and that's what creates that curve. Now, some of you may even be aware that in your downswing, the golf club at some point gets far too steep. So by steep, we mean a golf club which is moving from whatever angle it may be towards a more vertical kind of condition, such as this. And certainly, in the coaching bay, this is a golf swing or a shape of golf swing that I see all too commonly. Now, why is that maybe not so different to some of the world's best? Maybe your Dustin Johnsons, your Sergio Garcias. Some of these golfers that you see on TV are going to have a very similar move to what you have. But there's one huge difference. So let's take a golfer who does slice the golf ball. They are aware that the golf club steepens as they start down. This steepening move is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that the golf club head never gets lower than the hand path. Now, if we take a Sergio Garcia, for example, and we take a Dustin Johnson, we'll just use those two golfers because they're going to be hopefully pretty well known to you. Both of these golfers in their downswing have a golf club which is steepening. That golf club shaft is moving towards vertical. So very similar to what the slicers do. The difference would be that the golf club at some point in those two golfers, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, gets what we call lower than the hand path. Sergio does this maybe a little bit more than Dustin, but both of those golfers from the top will actually have the golf club moving lower than the hand path, so that after this point, they can start to steepen the golf club. And what they actually find is a golf club which is slightly steepening is actually very, very good. It starts to rotate the club face back towards being what we'll class as square at impact. There's many benefits to that move. The golfers who slice the ball will go up to the top. They will never let the club head move lower than the hand path, and then they steepen it. So the steepening move is not necessarily the issue. It's where the club head is going from and to. So with that in mind, this is a really simple drill that you can do, which is going to get you an idea as to feel what you need to do initially in your downswing so that that steepening move can be a benefit to you. You're going to very simply think about the weight of the club and the balance point. That would be in here somewhere. What I would love you to do is actually take a setup, make a backswing, and take your trail hand off. Now, as I get to this point here and I relax my grip, I'm going to feel that the club head wants to fall this way. Okay, that's not me moving my lead arm, that's just the club head moving down behind me. What I want you to do is get that feeling, let that happen, and then rotate through. So it's going to look a little bit like this. I'm going to go up to the top, I'm going to take my trail hand off, I'm going to let the club head fall, and then I'm going to turn through. I'll do that again for you. So up to the top, let the club head fall, and then turn through. So if I can get to the point where I'm allowing that golf club head to move lower than my hand path, I'm now in a position where I'm able to begin to start to steepen that club shaft in the downswing, but I still find a really effective delivery point, and I'm able to do many of the things that I want to do through impact, the rotation, the handle forwards, etc., etc. What we don't want to have happen is from the top, we don't let the club head get lower than the hand path, then we start to steepen it. This is when we're going to get the issues. So it's not necessarily what the club shaft is doing, it's kind of where the club head, or what we should say the centre of mass, where that is relative to your hands. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate this particularly well because this is something that I don't do as well as I would like to. I'm going to have a go, I'm going to see if I can demonstrate what I would like to do, but as I say, this isn't something that I do particularly well, so maybe not the best idea to kind of super slow this down and have a look at exactly what I do. But I'm certainly going to try and feel like in transition I get that club shaft a little flatter, which enables me to steepen it later into the downswing. it felt different. I need to have a look at that back and see what that was like, but that certainly felt different. But if we can start to get that feeling of the club shaft shallowing early, we can then turn on. If the club shaft steepens a little bit after that, not a massive issue. But if it steepens right from the top, that's when you're going to get that's when you're going to get into that kind of difficult situations you get to halfway down and you get stuck at impact and all those poorer shots happen. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that video is helpful, informative, and it might give you some things to work on in the future if you do struggle with a left to right slide shot. All the usual stuff is down below. There's a comments box down there. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did like it, and also subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. It is absolutely free. More videos coming each Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon.